My phone is my bank.
Sampath Mobile Banking. Convenient, easy, saves time. Sampath Bank, we present your future.
Very good evening. This is the news at 9, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Joel Outscourt.
And I'm Nicola Dezoiza. We start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
President states that he will take a neutral stand at the upcoming polls. The preferential numbers for the general elections to be issued by 12 noon on Thursday. SLFP ignored the calls to not give nominations to the corrupt. A statement by Arjuna Ranatunga. The JVP stand on the nomination list of the two main political parties.
Douglas,
Devananda says that the former government did not pay attention to the needs of the Tamil community.
And on our top story tonight, President Maithripala Sirisena made a special statement this evening.
During the last 6 months, I steered the government similar to the captain of the Titanic. The Titanic sank, yet I did not let this ship sink. When an attempt was made to table the no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister and sink the ship, I dissolved Parliament. What was the ulterior motive of the no-confidence motion? I received information that when the dates were fixed for the no-confidence motion against the Prime Minister, a nationalist MP from the alliance would resign and pave the way for Mahinda Rajapaksa to enter Parliament. Their objective was to defeat Ranil Wickremesinghe through the motion of no confidence and establish their own government. I defeated those attempts. I have carried out my responsibilities. I will continue to do so in the future. I must clearly state that I have no dealings with Mahinda Rajapaksa. The opposition that I had against Mahinda Rajapaksa before the 8th of January has not changed. This is the reality. If the SLFP-led United People's Freedom Alliance wins this parliamentary election, there are many other seniors of the SLFP and UPFA other than Mahinda Rajapaksa who can be appointed as the Prime Minister. When Mahinda Rajapaksa was serving as the President, he removed the restriction on the number of presidential terms, not allowing anyone else to contest for the presidency. He wanted to remain as the President until he breathes his last. He intended to contest on countless occasions. Now what are they trying to do? There are other seniors in the party who are suitable to be appointed as its Prime Minister. They're taking away that opportunity as well. I must make it clear that during this election campaign, I will take a neutral stand.
For the complete speech made by the President today, join our sister channel Sirasa TV at 10:30 p.m.
The United National Front commenced its election campaign from Kandy today.
United National Front candidates led by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe visited the temple of the sacred tooth relic to worship the sacred relic and then called on the Mahanayaka of the Malwadu chapter of the Siam sect.
We obtained the blessings of the sacred relic. We will commit to move forward building coexistence among all communities under one Sri Lanka. We are also committed to create a moral and disciplined Sri Lanka. We move forward as per our policies. They continue to stay with their parties. The political leaders created the parties to save the country and not the party. Therefore, we will take a decision at the appropriate time for the betterment of the country and the people. I wrote to the chairman of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the secretary to not provide the corrupt with nominations. Unfortunately, it did not transpire. We joined hands to put a stop to that and build a stable government. We hope to bring the country to a better situation in the coming 5 years. There is no party politics today. I believe that it is wrong to transform the ballot for the country into the ballot for the party.
United People's Freedom Alliance Kurunegala district candidate Mahinda Rajapaksa visited Kandy this morning.
Mahinda Rajapaksa visited the temple of the sacred tooth relic and then called on the Mahanayaka of the Malwadu chapter of the Siam sect, Most Venerable Tibbotavawe Sri Sumangala Thero, and obtained his blessings. We will commence work after obtaining blessings and calling on the Mahanayaka. There is nothing unfair about it. I have done everything I can for my hometown. I will work for the people in Kurunegala the same way I work for the country. I will not do anything unfair. We will make Kurunegala a blooming area.
Meanwhile, the JVP General Secretary Tilwyn Silva convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
There was a notion amongst the public that the time has come to remove corrupt politicians and parliament free of corruption and good governance will be established. Many organizations were formed for this purpose in the recent past. Certain politicians spearheaded these organizations and pledged that the nomination list will be free of corrupt politicians. They even placed their signatures to support this claim. When such a request was made, what has happened today? The UPFA and the UNP have ignored these calls and the pledges it made to the public.
Views were also expressed in providing nominations to the former president.
We do not believe that Mahinda Rajapaksa has a future in politics. Therefore, no one needs to fear him. Even if he receives a parliamentary seat, he would not be able to sustain that position for long. Why? This is because he will have to appear before courts for the corruption he engaged and justice will be meted out against him.
President Maithripala Sirisena made a special statement this evening. Let's have a listen.
On the other hand, there is the issue about the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. A committee was appointed and a report was presented. Then the parliamentary committee acted on it. The view that I have on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe and the view that the people have on Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe is that he is not a corrupt person and that he is not a thief. When the issue on the governor of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka arose, there were discussions that took place. During those discussions, I told him that he has a good name and on this context, he needs to do the right thing in the face of society. I told him that the right thing was for the governor of the Central Bank to resign.
Just a reminder for the special speech made by the president. Join our sister channel Sirsa TV today at 10:30 p.m.
On to a developing story this evening. Chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, Lanka Singh, expressed his disappointment over the inclusion of drug peddlers in the nomination list of certain political parties. The United National Party made inquiries from the board first, Thondaman Ceylon Workers Congress, J. Sri Lanka Citizens Front and also Venerable Athuriya Ratnathera's party made inquiries from us.
J. Sri Lanka Mahatage Saha Athuriya Ratana Himi Megan Vimasimak Kala.
No, it did not make any inquiries. Certain individuals who had been identified have been given nominations.
To
tell you the truth, the ideal person to reveal this to the country is the president. As you are well aware, his name has been removed.
Meanwhile, the police had this to say.
Police Mata Prakashpatumaani මේ මද්ද්‍රව්‍ය ජාවාරම් සම්බන්ධයෙන් චෝදනා ලබලා තියෙන දේශපාලනඥයන්ගේ ලයිස්තුවක් තියෙනවද?
මෙහෙමයි. නීතිය අනුව
If a person is proved before courts that he had committed a crime, only then can we call him a criminal.
තමයි වැරදිකරුවෙක් කියලා කියන්නේ.
චෝදනාවක් තියෙනවද කියලා අහන්නේ. දැන් එහෙම තියෙනවා නම් එහෙම චෝදනාවක් තියෙනවා නම් එහෙම ලයිස්තුවක් ඔබතුමාලට තියෙනවද?
නෑ මම ළඟ එහෙම ලයිස්තුවක් නෑ.
No, I do not have such a list. But as you are aware, investigations have been conducted on certain politicians.
විමර්ශන සිදු කරනවා. දේශපාලනඥයින් සම්බන්ධයෙන්.
Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya made an announcement on the issuing of preferential numbers for the candidates ahead of the August parliamentary elections. He made the announcement subsequent to meeting at the Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission this evening.
The Elections Commissioner, the senior DIG in charge of elections, Secretary of the HRC and a number of government officials attended the meeting.
Nominations were accepted.
The process of assigning preferential numbers for the candidates is ongoing. I believe that come this evening, we will be able to issue the preferential numbers for several districts. We hope to complete the issuing of preferential numbers before noon on the 16th.
A discussion took place on the implementation of the election law with the Human Rights Commission. It was also discussed on preventing the election law violations from ministries.
The notice boards at state institutions were used for the promotion of political parties and candidates over the past. PAFREL has directed a complaint to the Human Rights Commission and the Elections Commission. An agreement was reached with the HRC to provide a recommendation on this.
Minister Akhil Viraj Karavasam, speaking to reporters in Colombo today, commented on the defeat Mahinda Rajapaksa would suffer at the general elections in August.
Mahinda Rajapaksa said that there are 5.8 million people with him, but it was proven wrong. First, he requested to be the prime ministerial candidate of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. Later, he wanted to be the group leader. Then he requested to steer the elections. Finally, he was made to contest under the symbol of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party as a common member of the SLFP. Therefore, we will definitely make him suffer his second largest defeat in Kurunagala. We will be informing the Elections Commissioner in writing against him using his presidential powers and benefits to engage in the elections in Kurunagala. We are contesting this time for an economical revolution. We have made note of this. We have undertaken a project to provide a house to every family. Our economic policy is not to provide houses alone, but to also uplift the family system and develop the family. That is our development.
Meanwhile, the United People's Freedom Alliance convened a joint media briefing in Colombo.
Amidst all hardships, we want 10 elections. During these elections, we will win another 4 districts. That is Badulla, Gampaha and Puttalam. We are definitely going to win Polonnaruwa. Therefore, when the election battle begins, we would have already won 14 districts. The Elections Operations Committee will commence work tomorrow. We will hold our maiden rally in Anuradhapura on the 17th. We had a brief discussion on the steering of the election campaign with President Maithripala Sirisena. The Elections Operation Committee will also commence work on the alliance.
මැතිවරණ මෙහෙයුම් කමිටුවක් මගින් අපි ආරම්භ කරනවා විධායකයට ගැළපෙන ව්‍යවස්ථාදායකයෙක් තෝරාගත යුතුයි.
A legislation that suits the executive must be elected. Conflicts will be prevented and President Maithripala Sirisena can continue with the good governance rule only if his party and the alliance win with a majority. If not, a conflict situation where the party and alliance follows opposing views will be created. This needs to be prevented.
අගෝස්තු 17 වෙනිදා උදා විය හැකි එය වළක්වා ගන්න ඕන.
United National Front Hambantota district leader Sajid Premadasa expressed his views on the current politics at a meeting held today.
They are pasting posters around the island. Do not bring a T-56 or a bayonet. Do not be equipped with a sword or arrive in a white van. Come to the fray by promoting democracy. The brainchild of this culture left the district because he could not respect the mandate of the people. He cannot emerge victorious in Hambantota neither with the use of T-56, grenades nor bombs. The meeting, which was organized for the victory of the United National Front, was held in the Virakati area in Tangol.
Team leader of the United People's Freedom Alliance for the Badulla district, Nimal Siripala de Silva, addressed a public gathering in Mahiyangania today.
Ranil Wickramasinghe and his group have always inquired whether Mahinda and Maitri will unite. When we said that nominations have not been signed, the media was quick to report that Mahinda's name will be Tipexed last minute. Did we remove his name? Mahinda is now in the fray. It was not an easy task to come together. I told President Maithripala Sirisena and Mahinda Rajapaksa that if they are two separate lists, then I will retire from my 35-year-long political career and will not contest the upcoming election. I could have told that I am currently the opposition leader and envisage to become the next Prime Minister and for both factions not to unite. Did I make such an announcement? I told former President Mahinda Rajapaksa to contest without any fear and that I will sacrifice my opportunity to become Prime Minister. I do not need such positions. All I want is to unite the party and protect its members. Meanwhile, United National Front Mathura district candidate Buddhika Pathurana, speaking at a meeting in Malimbadi today, elaborated on the people's readiness to remove persons who are not suitable for politics. Because people eat rice, we are confident that there are no cattle who eat rice in Kurunegala. Kurunegala has received an opportunity now. Earlier, persons with no political knowledge and thugs were made victorious. However, this time around, the thugs, the drug peddlers and the ethanol dealers have not received nominations. Those who received nominations will meet their end this time.
At a media briefing today, former Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwad Cabral elaborated on the loss incurred by the Central Bank due to the February controversial bond issue.
The loss incurred by the country due to this is enormous. Perpetual treasuries owned by the son-in-law of the governor of the central bank received the bond at 90 or 91 rupees when the central bank should have sold it at 118 or 199 rupees. For every billion, the government has made a loss of 291 million rupees. Hence, the government has incurred a direct loss of 2 billion rupees. The interest rates in the country increased. When it is accounted for, it has exceeded over 5,900 billion rupees. The government should have acted on this. This is the first step. However, the Prime Minister is covering this up and has not taken steps to rectify this.
Meanwhile, the former governor was questioned on the loss incurred due to the Greek bond investment.
It was a loss. Sometimes such losses are incurred. Now the stocks at the stock market does not always have an upward trend. Sometimes I am being directly held responsible for investing in Greek bonds. There is a department dedicated for that, with a staff of about 100 people. They do the technical research. You or I cannot work there. It is easier said than done.
UNF candidate from the Colombo district S.M. Marika took part for a public rally in Kolonnawa today.
Under our 5-year program, which consists of a 5-year large-scale development project plan, we will not only establish democracy, but we will also bring about a constitutional amendment which will benefit the public and the country. I would like to clearly state that we will create a country and society that is free and who will be able to raise a generation of educated children who will be able to attain worldly success in the future.
These are the views expressed by Douglas Devananda at a media briefing held today in Jaffna.
One of my brothers is also reported missing. I understand the pain of losing someone. When I informed this to the previous government, which I represented, they showed no interest to it. They abandoned us. However, because of my influence, a commission was established.
The case pertaining to the 11 youth who were reported missing from the Colombo area during the tenure of the previous government was taken up before the Colombo Chief Magistrate once again today.
During the proceeding, Colombo Chief Magistrate Gihampila Pittiya ordered for the Sri Lanka Navy to assist in the investigations carried out by the Criminal Investigations Department. The case was postponed to the 4th of August for the petitioners and the Attorney General's Department to make oral submissions.
The judge instructed the CID to expedite the investigations. On a previous occasion, it was noted that pressure was exerted on several naval personnel when providing evidence. Attention was drawn to that as well. However, we hope that the investigations will be carried out expeditiously. If there is a delay, courts must take the required steps to prevent the delay.
A fundamental rights petition that was filed seeking 10 million rupees as compensation, citing that there were obstructions when watching the Sutton political debate program during the presidential election period on the POTV platform, was taken up today once again. The petition was taken up before the bench comprising of Chief Justice Kesri Pavan, Priyantha Jayawardena and Anil Gunawardena.
Filing the petition, attorney at law Manjushree Chandrasena points out that obstructions caused when viewing the Sutton political debate program on Silsa TV on the 22nd of November 2014 had violated his fundamental rights. The petition had cited Sri Lanka Telecom, the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, then Minister of Media Keheli Rambukwalla, Secretary to the Minister of Mass Media Charitha Herath and the Attorney General as the respondents. The petition cites the Minister of Media Keheli Rambukwalla and Secretary to the Ministry Charitha Herath as the respondents. However, as the positions have changed hands, the courts informed that the petition be amended and produced once again.
And in some cricket news, Sri Lanka will take on Pakistan in the second ODI of the series tomorrow in Pallekele. Sri Lankan captain Angelo Matthews expressed the following views on the team's readiness ahead of the match.
Look, I mean, we can't do too many things to get everything right in 2 days. It's just the mental approach. I think we need to be mentally prepared and focused to take the Pakistanis on. We're not expecting any particular player to do well, but I think if one gets going and if that player gets a big 100 for us, I think he's done the job for the team.
Well, that's a wrap of your primetime news for tonight. Thank you for joining us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Nicola De Zoiza.
And I'm Joel Outskun. Here's reminding you that you can keep abreast of the trending stories on our website www.newsfirst.lk. Take care and good night.